right, we got some more To Be Hero X content coming from Mr. Rin. Thank you again for all the translations that they provide for, you know, To Be Hero X. We got the director Howlin' Q&A. We already saw, you know, Lin Ling's arc interview. Apparently he's going to be doing an interview explaining stuff, more themes about what the story is about and where it's going, right, and answering questions. This is part 2. Let's check it out.
突变英雄 X Q&A 导演拷问第2期。
大家好，这个3集的魂镜片，不知道大家看得怎么样呢？
How am I liking it so far? I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the way that the Isol arc ended made me care a lot more about the story than the Lin Ling arc. Not saying Lin Ling arc was bad by any means, and I think the way that we concluded with the cliffhanger of Moon's death with Isol coming in was shocking. And to have a follow-up, completely new arc, new characters, and for them to make us care that much about these characters within this short 3-episode time format they have, I think they absolutely nailed it.
在这里正好小李跟大家做一个问答活动，我们的 Q&A 第2期正式开始。 我自己觉得我对魂镜片的感受其实是会跟奈斯不一样的，因为奈斯是一个荒诞的，有一些
absurd vibes
元素，有一些黑色幽默的在里面。但魂镜片其实
That's true. There was a lot of hilarious, funny tones in Nice's arc, right? I think one of the funniest thing was the stand man stuff. But all that stuff doesn't really exist in the Isol arc. Its Isol arc is more tragic, if anything, right? Immediately we're shown this orphan kid who has a Batman-esque backstory of parents getting killed, constantly living from the shadows of everyone else and being an underdog. And there's this like underdog story that's full of sadness and tragedy, you know, and things start to pop off. But even when things start to pop off, there's moments of, you know, depression happening with the expectations of the audience as you grow like that and the haters. And then the way it concludes, the whole like Darth Vader story, man. Bro just got done so dirty, and Unk Rock doing the eyes and plot twist was crazy. It definitely had a different theme, a different feel to it.
是一个很正的一个开场，所以到第3集大家也能感觉到，其实是一个偏严肃向的题材了。甚至最后其实有一些比较暗黑的、比较
It is very dark.
比较悲剧的一个收束。我个人还蛮喜欢的一个篇章。
Me too. I mean, the way that Lin Ling's arc ended too, it was pretty dark, right? I mean, we had like a potential resolution of these two couples living happily ever after, and bang, psych, that's pretty tragic. Yeah, that is pretty dark. But I think that Isol's entire arc was more on the same tone, right? And I actually like more stories like this. I think there's a time and place for every different types of flavors of, you know, shows and mediums. But I really appreciate the more psychological thrillers and the dark aspects of storytelling, and Isol arc I think delivered on that.
因为我觉得杨晨这个角色，他不只是一个正义少年，他有多面性，他有自己的
complex character，
有很多矛盾，也有很真实的人性的一面。
Yes, very real human side, right? He's not this perfect hero who just does always the right things. He has good intentions, but due to the environment he's been thrown in and other factors that's outside his control, he eventually gets warped into this tragic character who is now become almost villain-like.
最后那一下的犹豫，那0.1秒，其实可能把他的人物。
The hesitation of when he basically saw his, you know, rich friend Shang get pointed with a gun to his head, and we saw how he has a little flashback of all these different moments of him feeling lesser than him feeling being pushed out of, you know, the spotlight as his love interest. Also, you know, Shang has a lot of interest in her, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't save him.
推向了另一边，我自己个人还是蛮喜欢魂镜片的，不知道各位观众
I loved it.
怎么样？
I loved it. Can characters who've died be brought back through trust value? Kind of. Okay, we got Edo Tensei in this bitch. Hold up.
角色是否可以依靠性爱值而复活，类似于不死？
这个问题大家往后看，其实会看。
Oh, wait, whoa. This will be addressed in future episodes in the story later. So there is possibilities of dead characters coming back.
到剧情有解释，但今天我也可以
Okay.
先说一点。
All right, little hint.
大家在魂殿篇的那个短片里边也看到了一个叫 Zero 的这样的一个
Zero, that's right, Zero.
英雄的当时的陨落，那就是
What the hell was that sound effect? Oh no, did you hear that? Go back.
有一个叫 Zero 的这样的一个
Zero
英雄的当时的陨落。
Oh no! Oh no, Zero's coming back, guys.
就是这个世界曾经出现过神
God
神
appeared
也
in this
带给
world.
了世界危机和灭。
Is God Zero right now? Or is this a separate, different entity? Anyways, God pulled up and just... Why would God bring crisis and destruction to this world? Maybe it's like a... What's it called? Noah's Ark kind of style. Where it's like God is disgusted at what his creation has done and he's here to basically do a server reset. I don't know if the God in this context is Zero, but okay, keep going.
灭亡。那么，如果所有人都信任一个人的话，那个人就会变成神，所以才有了联合会利用各个势力去瓦解和分化。
It sounds like Zero was the God, right? If there's only one pillar of heroism that everyone pours it into, it's over. What if they go crazy? The commission exists to divide the power structure so other people can be put into check. Okay.
每个英雄的能力，所以这个世界上的人，其实大家在内心里面都会规避一件事情，就是造神。那死而复
Creating gods is the one thing everyone tries. Wow. I never really thought about it like that, but interesting. But the villains, I wonder what the villains are trying to do. I mean, they're just kind of opposing. Like, there's that Spotlight organization that was mentioned in the Nice arc, but I don't know. It feels like if I was a villain and I really wanted to bring down the end of this world, I was try to, you know, basically get rid of all the heroes and maybe only have one hero that everyone pours their, you know, investment into and then corrupt them.
不是这件事情，这个能力其实就是神才能拥有的能力。暂时来说，我觉得在这个世界观里边，其实是无法建构起来的。
There's a very interesting concept here of we made a video just recently talking about what's going on with X. A lot of people are like, yo, is X actually Zero? Is he a villain? Because there's just like one scene where he snaps his fingers and he doesn't turn into it, but the visual shows Zero right after X in the same angle and posture. And a lot of people are like, nah, I think people are just showing two sides of the same coin. You know, X is the #1 hero and Zero is the #1 villain or something, right? But some of the other commenters are mentioning, yo, I think that X is actually trying to rehaul this whole system, right? To put an end to this commission and the heroism, because at the end of the day, these are shackles placed onto heroes, and Zero and X himself basically lives in this shrouded mystery, and people don't even know who he is, and basically he has this freedom while everyone else has to play this role that the fans are expecting. If we go one layer beyond that and think about what the director just said, now this kind of like is scary, because if X is trying to end this, I mean, when you say end the system, what does that really mean? Does that necessarily mean having only one person being power? Or do you mean just end the trust value system entirely, right? But there's some funny, you know, schizo theories that you could have with this existence of like a god structure where everyone puts their eggs into one basket, and how maybe X is also attempting something the same, even though that's not his intentions. You know what I mean?
问题，下情的结局会有交代。
Will Xiaqing is ending... Is that Moon? I think Xiaqing is... No. This is... Xiaqing is the Yang Cheng's love interest, right? That girl.
其实，在整一部作品的一个构建框架里边，最早是
48 episodes also confirmed, right? 2 cores. Sorry, not 2 cores, 4 cores. First season 24, and then second season 24, 48.
做了48集的一个整体规划，包括前24集大家看到是建构英雄嘛，后24集计划其实是有英雄之间的更多的火花。那
Nice special effects. Yeah, the first season does feel like introducing the roster of all these different characters and explain what they're doing, and you know the timeline is kind of all converging into one hero tournament, right? Then in the second season, I'm sure we're going to have actual, you know, interpersonal play and different clashes, and you know the different heroes basically collaborating and maybe even fighting against each other.
既然有更多的火花，那当然也会把某些角色的一些核心人物会讲下去的。
第三个问题，
That didn't answer shit though. The question was, what about Xiaqing? You know, the girl that is Yang Cheng's love interest. How will she be addressed? And director Hao Lin said, well, from the beginning, you know, first we were structuring for 48 episodes. So in the second season, you're going to have different heroes interacting. Huh? What? How does the heroes interacting in the second season explain Xiaqing unless Xiaqing is actually a hero amongst the league? Anyways, okay, next question. Was the sequence in which the 10 heroes appear intentionally designed to support future plot development?
10个英雄的出场顺序是为了后面填坑吗？
其实最早的出场顺序的安排，更多的还是按照我们最终的排位赛的名次来。
Final rankings.
那其实往后看，大家会发现，原来比较松散的这些角色的关系，慢慢的都走。
Are you telling me that the order of the heroes being introduced in this anime is also the rankings of the heroes? In descending or ascending order? That's his words, not mine. Original order of appearance was mostly based on their final rankings in the tournament. And originally, it's a draft concept, not that it's what's happening right now.
那其实往后看，大家会发现，原来比较松散的这些角色的关系，慢慢的都走到一起的这个过程中，其实会打乱原来最早的排名顺序，让
Reshuffled.
剧情和逻辑串联的角色之间。
Stronger narrative and logical ties end up appearing closer together. Collaborations from alliances happening. I think there's some stuff going on with Lucky Cyan and Queen, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but basically when I saw the Lucky Cyan PV, I noticed two gentlemen who resembled the guys that was in Queen's PV as well. So you see some Easter eggs here and there, right? You see different, heroes and different interactions, and those loosely, coupled things will end up getting closer as the show goes on.
间会挨得更近一些。那我这句话到底什么意思？大家往后看，可能就会明白。
Oh, what's going on, Rin? The actual translator of the interview is here. Rin, did you know that they dropped this new PV? Where is this? they 3 hours ago they dropped this new one, and there's this part where director Howlin has a bunch of voice lines, but I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And the subs are not there, so there's potential content for you to farm over there as well. But anyways, we haven't watched the episode just yet. We're just kind of farming the interview right now. All right, go back. What was going on? So we're talking about, the order of characters. Originally was supposed to be in the ranking, but later on it kind of gets reshuffled, and logical ties and stronger narratives, they'll come together. Got it?
我这句话到底什么意思？大家往后看，可能就会明白了。
第4个问题，启示在魂殿第2集明显能看出他的真相之眼的称号确实。
Yo, Enlighter, aka Good in the second episode of Esoul Arc, it's clear that Enlighter's title, Eye of Truth, is well deserved. So I want to ask Director Lee. Yeah, I mean, he pulled up again, and it was kind of nice because in Linling's arc, right, it was very antagonistic in the way that he was confronting Linling. But in Esoul's arc, he low-key clutched, He's spreading the truth and literally exposed the truth in the narratives, and Yang Qing kind of got out of it.
这不是浪得虚名的，所以想问李导的是，启示后面会有特殊剧情吗？
启示这个角色，没想到得到了大家这么多人的喜爱啊，我还蛮惊讶的。我最早构建这样的一个项目，是为了构建一个世界观。 所以大家会看到形形色色的角色在不同的。
He's shocked that you guys are glazing Enlighter. Yo, this guy trash. No, I don't know what the director really thinks about Enlighter, but okay.
人的故事线里面看到不同的角色的登场。那当构建完世界观以后，每一个角色其实都有自己可能去表现自己的一面。那未来我是希望这个世界观构建完了以后，每一个角色甚至都可以摘出来单独做几集动。
Mini series of episodes. I'm always down for spin-offs, more, horizontal investment into different characters and getting their own stories and leading up to it. Bro, give me the whole Esoul stuff. The PV with Esoul fighting Zero. Imagine a season of anime where it just literally just explains the rise of Zero and the fall and how Esoul had to step up and fight that shit, right? Give me it. I'll eat it up.
这就是我想要去做这个项目的一个。
The To Be Hero X verse. The To Be Hero X verse has now been confirmed. Oh baby.
初衷，那比如说大家看到启示很喜欢，那未来是不是有2到3集的故事去讲启示，包括甚至小
2 to 3 episodes focused on Enlighter is crazy.
柚子我都可以拿出来讲一集，他未来的成长都可以带出来讲。我觉得这就是构建完世界观以后可以延展出的无限想象力。那通过这种方式，我
That's right. It is limitless, right? The expansion. If you really think about it, the structuring of the show is genius because right now we are leading into this hero tournament ranking of these 10 heroes that we're being introduced to. But after the first 2 seasons are done, it's not like the story can just end because you have this existing structure. Assuming by the end of the story that this whole same structure exists, right? You could have new rosters of hero coming up, different generations, right? And maybe the next round of fight, like it's some Fate shit, right? Literally Fate shit, where you have battle royales happening, the Grail War, different heroes from different timelines being summoned in and having their own stories being told. Like, this is kind of the similar thing where you're not limited to just telling the story once and you're done. You can keep using this formula with different characters.
通过这种方式，我觉得也能够让更多的团队参与进来，这也就是我做这个企划的另一个目的了。因为相信关心国创的也知道，很多现在国创的小团队们其实
Chinese animation, anyone invested in it is aware that many small domestic teams face challenges in acquiring good IPs for production or creation. Yeah, because, well, language barrier, culture barrier, everything being region locked in different countries like Japan.
要找一些好的 IP 来重制或者来创作，其实还是挺难的。我觉得如果很多小团队也愿意来参与到某个角色的某一些小篇章，或者说某几集，我觉得可能对大家彼此都是一种很好。
Okay, like different smaller studios and different teams, collaborating with like the main branch and working off of each other because, resources are limited and it's a good way to kind of like outsource in a productive way.
的帮助吧。
第5个问题，在这个世界观里，
In this world, can liking someone be converted into trust value? You would have to kind of like define the word like, right? But love, like, friendship, acquaintances, what's going on?
喜欢一个人能转化成信赖值吗？
我觉得爱和信赖
Love and trust
其实是蛮复杂的一个东西，这也就是我最早做这个世界观我觉得更有趣的地方。因为大家可能在这个24集里边看到的更多的是飞天遁地的打斗，或者说是恩怨情仇。但反过来，其实我还内心里面很喜欢这个世界观的原因，比如说像杨晨，他从0到1那种感动其实是很小的。那如果说某一
The journey from 0 to 1.The way how little Pomelo, the little bro, believed in Yang Cheng at the end during the fight scene, right? And then bathed that, 0 to 1.
那如果说某一个人对你的义无反顾的爱，它其实也会是一种很好的一个爱情故事。那其实我脑子里面还构建过一个母亲如果得了绝症，那么
You monster! This fucking guy, bro. If a mother were diagnosed with the shit. I'm not gonna lie, it would be a compelling story. It'd be a tearjerker. He's cooking the tragedies. You know what? Not even just any mom. Make her a single mom. Poor single mom. Multiple kids. Disabled poor single mom. What else can we stack up? What else can we stack up to this list of fucking tragedies to just make this shit worse?
如果得
Crippled. Crippled, sex worker, disabled, single mom. Okay, it's getting comical at this point. It's getting comical. Yeah, we get the point. We get the point.
还构建过一个母亲如果得了绝症，那么想要救她的话，必须有2000万的人相信你的妙。
20 million people are truly. Oh, shit. Damn. But like, I don't want this to work, basically a kid is trying to save his mom by trying to rally a cause and if 20 million people, all give their trust value to me, then I can save my mom. But imagine it's actually a scam, bro. Imagine it's actually a scam, like one of those charity or donation scams. And this kid is a fucking menace, and the terminal illness mom is fake, bro. and they take all the trust value system power. Anyways.
要回春你才能救他。那这个故事里边可能没有战斗，也没有超能力，但如果一个人只有个位数的信赖者，他怎么样在短短的2个月内获得2000万人的信赖呢？他甚至不是一个奇幻的故事，甚至可能是一个更治愈，或者说是更加有深度。
More healing? Yeah, I guess there's a healing aspect to, a kid trying to save his mom and eventually getting it done. But like, there's also a lot of despair and tragedy and depressions and, just like sad elements involved in it. The healing, it will be, it's a healing process.
加入官方粉丝群，有机会
And that's pretty much it, man. Oh, in lighter stuff here with God Eye. Man, what he said at the end, this guy's cooking, man. It clearly shows like the inner machinations of this guy's head, man. It's just, oh fuck. The way he didn't answer most of the questions, just keep watching. Yeah, I mean, Director Howling can't just give out all the answers, right? You've got to be careful of spoilers and confirmations. Like, even like the most condemning thing to me was when we asked what happened to Xiaqing, the girl, right? What will Xiaqing's ending get addressed? Literally the question is, what happened to Yang Cheng's love interest? You gonna address that shit? And he's like, well, listen, originally this shit was a 48 episodes in structure, and in the second half I think there's gonna be a lot of collaborations within the heroes. Next question. What the fuck does that tell me? Are you implying that Xiaqing, will get involved with the hero? Is she gonna be a hero during the collaborations of different heroes in the future? Is Xiaqing gonna get, involved again? Like, I don't know. I don't know. This interview was very fun though. Let's read some comments. It's unclear whether Zero was truly a godlike entity or just close to, or striving to be one, right? You can only become God when the whole world, right? When the whole world believes in you, which clearly wasn't the case for Zero since people opposed him, so I assume he wasn't one. But yeah, he kind of like reached that godlike status though. I'm not entirely sure though, given how Howlin phrased it. I wish they had chosen more questions about the East arc or the characters themselves instead of those general ones, but it is what it is. Still is interesting, I guess. Yeah, paid actors, man. These questions are fucking paid actors. This and the official sticker makes me really excited for Lucky Sign and Queen's relationship. Yeah. I mean, we talked about how there is an orphanage being run by two men, two of them with glasses, but some of them actually kind of look like the characters that exist in Queen's PV, so that's kind of cool. Not gonna lie, I'm rather... Oh. Listen. Ryu-Seishan simply got caught up in the drama in the crossfires last time, alright? I have nothing against him, okay? The personal beef is between me and Fraud Lad of Scams, alright? So let's just address that. He is a 2B Heroics enjoyer. I welcome that. Not gonna lie, I'm rather curious about the original 40 episode plan and whether or not it's just changed to be split up for more time or not. If season 2 really gonna be dependent on fan votes, I'm concerned about how it'll take for part 2. And how the writing will be altered due to them. If season 2 is really gonna be dependent on fan votes. So I think there's some context that I'm missing right now. What lore am I missing? I'll only answer this right now because the actual, creator Rin right now of the translated video we're watching is asking. The context is, it's just stupid anime drama, bro. TLDR, there's a person buying subs and views who's also bullying smaller creators, including myself in the past, and there's a shitload of things going on, and there's some content creators adjacent to this fucking balding motherfucker. But anyways, that's off topic. Let's focus. I think there is some context I'm missing here. They have a website for voting the hero, so fans can get involved. Literally, like us, the fans, can poll and vote, and they'll be able to do something with it. So assuming that is the case, then I'm imagining a system where I think it'd be foolish to basically be bottlenecked, right? Rate limited by which hero gets included in this fan voting system to conclude the show. So I'm assuming that the scheduling and the production value they're at a state where they have a template ready to go. Maybe multiple templates for different heroes, depending on which hero is going to win the poll. And they already have some draft, structure of how things are going to get executed so that they don't have to immediately just think of, oh shit, we were expecting this hero to win, but a different hero won the poll and now we don't know what to do. Rather than, being an amateur like that, they most likely have already kind of had structures and different systems, it's set so that no matter who wins, they're going to be able to, produce the show without scheduling issues. Thank you for the translations. Anyway, yes, please bring my girl Xiao Yuqing back. Oh, I thought Xiaoqing was what the fuck? I thought Xiaoqing was Yang Cheng's love interest. Xiao Yuqing is Moon's Chinese. What the fuck? I said Moon first, and I thought, oh wait, it's actually Yang Cheng's love interest. You guys fucking, no one corrected me, you motherfuckers. Anyways, we're talking about Moon right now. Huh. The godlike info is interesting. Can't wait till they address it more. Absolutely. It's a very interesting concept. But I do agree that it's a bit sad that only one. Max 2 questions are about either, Yang Qing or Esols. Yeah, the general questions, right? Obviously, they can't address a lot of stuff. My goat, they made an entire IP farm. They did, man. It's smart. Like all these different heroes, and then they're gonna have like more specific stories for each heroes as well. It's so smart, man. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, Rin, for another translated, content that we will be region locked out. If not, please go check out Rin's Twitter. Here's a link to the tweet. Check out their content for more stuff, and I'll link it on the YouTube parts too. And that's pretty much it. Bye bye.